Carlos, when you look at both pitchers, what made McLean so good and Yamamoto so tough from your end?
Man, they were both awesome. I mean, Yamamoto was pretty nasty, but Nolan was pretty nasty too. Like, they went head to head. He was inning after inning, batter after batter, pitch after pitch, Yeah, I mean, they made it tough on hitters, Sucks losing that one, especially when you get that type of outing. But yeah, they were both on their game today.
We've seen a couple over the last 4 games or so where in the 8th inning or the 9th inning down by a run, the at-bats have been, seems at least from our perspective, maybe a little jumpy, a little over-aggressive. Is that what you're seeing too in those spots?
Yeah, we saw it again against Vestia today. Ultra-aggressive, and we just went out of the strike zone. We chase, and it's hard to score in situations like that. You really have to force those guys to come in the strike zone, and right now we're not doing that, especially at the end of the game.
What was Bichette's argument there on the night?
He fouled it off, foul tip, but he didn't have that, and you can challenge that.
What can you guys do to try to prevent against your hitters starting to press when the losses are piling?
You got to keep going. You have to keep working. You have to continue to support them, because it's easy to put too much pressure on yourself. You got to go back to your fundamentals. You got to go back to what got you to this level. Understanding that you are a great hitter, and you can just let it spiral. I know it's tough right now, but the last thing you could do is just panic or trying to do too much. There's always a sense of urgency, obviously, and they're working. But you just got to keep going.
Is there any temptation to bring McLean back out for the 8th?
No, not after 95 pitches. He did his job there. He went 100 last time, and that was kind of like what we were looking at. At that point, I just decided to go with a clean inning instead of just going one hitter there with him finishing at 95.
What makes Yamamoto's splitter so tough?
It's a pitch that, with the way he throws his fastball too, he's just got so much bite to it. It's a hard one, and it looks like a fastball out of the hand, and then it just drops. That's what makes him who he is, obviously, and he had pretty much everything working today.
What's it say about a pitcher when you've got Shohei Ohtani kind of questioning and looking at some of his pitches sort of in disbelief almost?
Talking about Nolan? Not only on Shohei, but I think some of their hitters, Freddie Freeman, that first at bat, and some of the swing that he was taking, like, he pretty much dominated one of the best lineups in the league. That goes to show you how good of a pitcher Nolan is when he's at his best, and today was one of those nights. So
when you have guys kind of getting too aggressive and chasing things late in innings, how do you get them to slow down and get back to within themselves?
Yeah, I think it's just part of the game when you're going through it. You're down 1 run, you're trying to hit one out of the ballpark, and that's when the chase comes. Just kind of at that point, you got to take what the game's giving you, and if we continue to swing pitches out of the strike zone, they're going to continue to do that. So we have to make adjustments, and we will.
Is there a little extra juice coming into Dodger Stadium and facing that type of a lineup for the first time?
Maybe a little bit. Like I've said before, try to treat every start the same, no matter who's standing in the box or where I'm at. I just want to win every time I go out there. But growing up a baseball fan and getting to watch some of these guys on TV as I'm growing up, it's really cool to get to go compete against them.
It's obviously incredibly difficult to do what you did against that lineup. When you look at the start overall, what do you think you were able to do to keep them off balance the way you did?
Yeah, I mean, I think outside of the walk in the first inning, I felt like I filled the zone up and was attacking guys. And then once I was getting to 2 strikes, it was much easier to pitch with 2 strikes than behind an account. So I felt comfortable getting there, and I was happy with the way I was getting 2 strikes.
Were those first pitch strikes a point of emphasis for you at all?
Yeah, of course. I mean, whether they put it in play with less or on the first pitch, or if I get a first pitch called strike, both of those are a win for me.
At some point, were you able to look over at Yamamoto from the dugout and just sort of appreciate what you guys both had going?
Not really. I mean, I'm sure he was competing just like I was, and I mean, we're both pretty locked into the moment.
What is it like sort of pitching in one of those games where you're on a knife's edge, any mistake can win or lose the game for either side? Like, what is that feeling like when you're in that?
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly when you're out there, you don't really feel the score. At least in my opinion, like you're just out there trying to execute each pitch. Obviously, at any given moment, somebody can clip you for a home run or things can get haywire. But I mean, you're just trying to execute each pitch.
You're talking about maybe a little more emphasis on first pitch strikes. The last couple of starts been a little more fastball heavy. Is that all part of that? Just trying to get ahead with the fastball and then expand afterwards?
Yeah, I mean that, and just how I feel like hitters are looking. And each guy's different, obviously. So, I mean, some guys are looking soft on me, so I'm trying to fill up the zone with fastballs. And if vice versa, if they're looking for something heavy, then I'm going to try to throw strikes with the off-speed pitches. But I guess from like a mentality standpoint, sometimes like just going out there with the mindset of like I'm going to throw every pitch a fastball until I'm not, it's definitely been helping me.
Francisco, first of all, obviously Yamamoto is one of the best pitchers in the game, but specifically tonight, I know you were able to get him early on there. What was he able to do after that, though?
He didn't miss his spots. Even my pitch, he executed it. He threw it where he wanted it. Like you said, he's one of the best pitchers in the game, so you got to tip your cap. And, yeah, that's why he did well. But I felt like our bats, our intensity as a group collectively was much better. Just when you face guys like that, things like this are going to happen.
When you say that you felt like the intensity, the at-bats were better, what does that look like? How tangibly is that different than what you might have seen recently?
It felt like just the conversations and just the engagement and just felt like every at-bat we were going to get a hit, Albie took great at-bats, took good pitches. We took good pitches, Yamamoto was throwing splits 92 miles per hour and executing the location. So it's one of those where as the game goes on, you see the at-bats, you see the way guys take pitches, and it looked really good. It's just hats off to Yamamoto, and tomorrow we got to come back and bring it again.
What's the desperation level right now to get a win?
The desperation level, I mean, the urgency level, it's really high. I don't think no one here is desperate, but we understand that we have to win. It's a must win. We're not going to sit here and just say, we'll get them, we'll get them, we'll get them. It's everybody here has a sense of urgency, and we all trying to win. It was just, it's just a matter of time, and we have to get it done. We're still in the middle of April, and we have an opportunity to finish the month in the positive side. So everyone here understands that the task is winning, and we're all going for it.
Most pitchers cannot, hold down that lineup for 7 innings the way that McLean did. How much does the frustration level grow when you guys as a team can't capitalize on that kind of thing?
He kept us in the game. He did a really good job. Kept us in the game. Gave us quick innings, chances for us to score. Gave us the momentum, and we didn't capitalize on it. And it's one of those where you wish you could have got it done for him and for everyone else here. But it's one of those that he pitched his butt off, today, and even though he wasn't feeling the best probably at the beginning of the game, but then all of a sudden he gave us the momentum every single inning, and we gotta do our best to win games like this.
Francisco, he obviously has incredible stuff, but in this day and age there are a lot of guys with really good stuff. What is it that separates him that you see that just allows him to put that stuff into practice the way that he does?
As you saw, like as the deeper the game went, he was starting guys with different pitches. He was finishing guys with different pitches. He can throw pretty much all his changeup for strike, his sinker for strike, his forcing for strike, his cutter for strike, his sweeper for strike, and his curveball. So similar to Yamamoto. They can throw every pitch for strike, and they can start guys one way and finish it in different ways many times. So just that's what makes him effective. That's what makes him a really tough matchup. It's not easy, and it's not easy for anybody to go through that lineup the way he did. Just hats off to him too.
How challenging is it to not press and try to do too much when things have been going this way for you guys?
It's human nature to get mad, to get frustrated, to say, you know what, this got to end. It's human nature, but in baseball, you get an opportunity the next day, so you got to learn from it. You got to find a way to turn the page as quick as you can and come back tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow we face Ohtani. You can't just sit here and say and dwell on that for a very long time. We got to come back tomorrow and face another ace, and that's it. Bottom line is, when you win, short-term memory. When you lose, short-term memory as well.